Portland Sports Arena. This is Portland Wrestling. Your ringside host, Frank Bonema. Brought to you in part by Tom Peterson's, Oregon's largest TV stereo and appliance store. Tom Peterson's, 82nd and Southeast Foster Road. And by Friendly Chevrolet in Lake Oswego. Whether you're looking for a new or used car or truck, see the folks at Friendly Chevrolet. And a very good Saturday evening to you all, whatever you might be doing on this great July day.
Welcome, you're joining us in the middle of tag team naming. We're thinking of a team for Ray Stevens and Bobby Shane. Now a tag team, a permanent unit for now and forever. Well, we'll see. Blonde Steam Train is what we've come up with. I was thinking Blonde Bombers, that exists. Different variants of something express. But hell, Steam Train, why not? Is it synonymous with the Northwest trains? I don't really know. Not particularly. But we're building up for our TV show, which is coming up very soon. And after that, we will be well on the way to Redwood Rebellion. Joe said, okay, we've got some mail here. Gene Kiniski is loaned to MA. Which one is MA? Let's check that one out. In the National Wrestling Alliance. Loan from MLW. Okay, Gene Kiniski works basically everywhere. And anywhere is an NWA territory, which is kind of part of the course when you've been a former champion. Mid-America. Okay, the Nick Goulis territory. Roy Welch. Which would that become Memphis? Or an offshoot of this would be Live Studio Wrestling, MA. Mid-America. Who are the stars? Everybody's smiling on this one. But yeah, Gene Kiniski, Terry Funk. No, wait, that is not Terry Funk. That's Dory Funk Jr. Who's this one? DeMarco and heavyweight champion Don Green. Always kind of look and see if there's anybody who has a lot of popularity in our area. Go see that here. No, he's never really been to the Northwest. He's a big Southwest wrestler. Okay. So tomorrow night is Portland Wrestling, TV Wrestling. And we've got a new tag team, the Blonde Steam Train, of Ray Stevens and Bobby Shane. And we know they are both feuding relatively with Dutch Savage and Gene Kiniski, who we were just talking about. So, could we put them together in a tag team? Who has the gold? Well, we know Dean Ho and Eric, they lost the belts at the last TV show. So our tag team champions currently are Dutch Savage and Gene Kiniski. Gene Kiniski's gone from Memphis Wrestling. I'm very interested to see how does this match go, and who was his opponent. All Star Wrestling. He defeated Moose Morowski in a very average 67. Yeah, and 41, he is, I wouldn't say he's in his prime. He's soon there, though. No, he's past his prime. Just kidding. He is going to be, let's have a look here at his progress. Has anything here fallen off? His technical ability has gone down by 1. His mental skills, they should just generally increase during, unless anything like a scandal or anything like that happens in TEW. Performance skills, charisma, it's gone up to 63 as a high from 60. That's his acting and his microphone skills. There you go. And the star quality and everything has not been lacking. Fundamentals, I mean, everything is a consistent level. Resilience, though, has gone down. That's been the one that's the biggest drop off there. But in general, just the primary going down 1. He's got a good level about him, and I think he's someone you can use for a long time. One of older wrestlers there. Tony Bourne. 44. No, he has also, he's not going to drop off. His aerial skills are getting better. He obviously had that finish, the jumping off the top rope, sit down on the opponents. the one that Doink the Clown used afterwards. His son, Matt Bourne. Okay, mental skills going up. Okay, the resilience. Safety's gone up. Consistency has also gone up. Selling. But as we saw there, the resilience staying the same. And the stamina, if anything, is increasing with age. Okay, Tony Bourne is a marvel, and he's a wonder to humanity. Good old Tony Bourne. I'll give the night off. Oh, I don't know. Don't think we can really. We need everybody. Today we need everybody. The Portland Arena, 3,000. We could go for a bigger place. I'm always thinking, like, should we go for... I mean, the margins are so small in between. It's not really worth it. You know, you pay a little bit more for 100 more people. But the hotbed thing here, I think that makes a difference to your popularity levels or how your perception of your show is if you have a good event in a hotbed location. Okay, and what ideas do we have here? Race deep. We've got a lot of creative finishes, storyline ideas that we can't really put into place. Tony Bourne's angle idea. We've got a gimmick idea we can use. Big gamble for somebody. Angle idea. Another big gamble. We'll see if we get another calm angle. Near certainty. Okay, I like that one. Locker room incidents. Every which way anything could happen. So look closer at these Polaroid pictures. So you've got the people outside the fairgrounds here. Forgive the night off. So you assume that they're gonna go and take their best gal and go and try and knock over some coconuts to win something. Tonight's venue is the wrestling ring. Finalized broadcasters. And you've got a very old-fashioned broadcasting booth here. Pre-show incidents, lightning can strike, or bad weather obviously can cause the ring to be delayed or can cause people not to turn up. Pre-show booking meeting, we've just had that one. Locker room incidents. And you see a bit of a scuffle there where the referees have to separate people. So this is the one we're going to go into now. What's going to happen? Ivan Kamarov has got a lot of heat with the rest of the locker room for his selfish behaviour. As his employer, you now have to choose how to deal with this situation. Well, selfish behaviour, what's he been doing? I'm not sure. Slap on the wrist? That's kind of the mildest thing. Yeah. Beauregard was brought before the wrestlers' court. Accused of not paying attention during the locker room meeting. Well, you see, he was paying attention, but he was paying attention to his own gimmick that he was going to fix that evening. You know, he has a very fancy whoopee cushion device that he's going to set off in the ring, and that's what he had to make sure that the locks and the catches were working with that one. So Gene Kinitsky, you know, you've got to excuse him. He has the class clown personality. He's currently happy. Again, I don't think... Yeah. You play favorites in this game, as I'm sure wrestling promoters and people did in real life before. So there's nothing much there. No, that's brilliant. Harry Sasaki gave the locker room a lift when he provided great free drinks for everyone. What a legend. I think maybe we'll give him the gimmick angle boost thing. Just for that. Head men's trainer, he ran the show. He could run the show. He could obviously run New Japan Pro Wrestling very effectively. He trained all these young people who are going to get better. Good. Generally positive. I like it. Team bonding. Oh, okay. So Moondog Mayne and Tony Bourne, they're not getting along at the moment. They're a tag team in real life for a long time there. That's why I brought it and kept going along. They're not getting along at all right now. Let's go to the office. Let's go to Haru Sasaki while I remember. Gimmick details. Gimmick details. Tweak gimmick. Very good. Anybody we can just change gimmick for today? I'm thinking more of a lower card person. Let's find someone who's got adequate. Prepare gimmick. Deploy creative idea. He plays comedy, swagger, Weasley, underguard. He can't play dominant, badass, legitimate. Okay, we've looked at this before. I know we have. What about swagger? Cocky musician. What about cocky musician? How about unique, creative, generic, creative? Somewhere there. We'll see how that affects things. Maybe negatively, because it might be too soon after the other one, but the gimmick he's got now isn't working. His momentum is not good. Let's write an angle. In the ring, 7 minutes. With an interview. Keith Jackson! Say it now with me. The nicest man in wrestling. With Beauregard being interviewed. We want Gary Hart there. Who else do we want there? Torquemada. Not Tony Rose. Torquemada. Intimidation. Gary Hart explains the title situation. Antonio Inoki. Yes, he's the person they're talking about. Gary Hart reveals a document stating that Inoki had fielded an illegal manager at the previous show. Jack Nicholson. I think that's how you spell it. Jack Nicholson never had a license, and therefore Inoki has to forfeit his rematch clause and is not eligible to fight for a title in the NWA for 30 days. Harry Hart. I'll change that to Gary Hart. Now, did we want to add a storyline idea, an angle idea? Near certainty. I kind of don't want this one to go kaboom. The thing is, we had Jack Nicholson hanging around, and he was helping out, doing some charisma things, and then he was the manager of Antonio Inoki for a while. And it all turned up at Redwood Rebellion that Jack Nicholson actually was paid off by Gary Hart, Beauregard, and the Evil Enterprises, and he turned on Inoki in the match, causing him to lose the title. Now, the bureaucratic nonsense that Gary Hart is coming out with was that even though it was him who turned against him, by the NWA's laws and standards, he fielded a manager who was not meant to be at ringside because he did not have a license. Even though he cost him the match, he is securing that his champion, Torquemada, can hold the belt and not be challenged by Inoki for 30 days. I don't think Inoki's going to be too happy with that one. Let's have a think. What should the main event be today? Torquemada. We've got Dean Ho and Tony Inoki here. But we have tough Tony Bourne. People love Tony Bourne. He's going to get a chance at the big one. Tony's momentum has been extremely good recently. Torquemada's going to win this one now. Steal the show. Open match. And we're going to have a screwball finish. Of course we are. Post-match, in the ring, saving the day. He can't wrestle for the title, but by gum, he can come down to the ring and save tough Tony Bourne. Beauregard Gary Hart, Torquemada, not Tony Rose. Inoki saves Bourne post-match. Yes. So Tony Bourne, an amazing amount of momentum this week going into this show. People love to see Tony Bourne and what he gets up to. He's been doing a great job. And as we saw with his attributes, he has been tearing back the years and not reducing at all. Tough Tony and Moondog. Moondog is annoyed. Both white hot momentum. So these two also getting our baby faces over. And Bobby Shane and Ray Stevens. The Blonde Steam Train are going to have their first match as a team today, but both are very warm and red hot momentum. And I think, let's have a look who they could face. Well, it'd be good if they faced them, but Torquemada's already wrestling. Oh, Evil Incarnate. That would be a good team for them to wrestle. Blonde Steam Train coming through. Ray Stevens gets the win. Storytelling. Clean win. But we have a distraction in the match. Just a distraction, not a distraction finish. Just Dutch Savage throwing some racist slurs at people. No, I wouldn't do that anyway. Again, Dutch Savage went on to become one of the big babyface heroes of the territory. 2 minutes in the ring. Hype video. Torquemada. Intimidation. Torquemada last week. So they show a little highlight here in the ring on a video screen of some sort before his match. Tony Bourne is going to give a bit of an interview backstage while that's going on with Keith Jackson, saying he's not scared of the champion. He's seen what he's doing. He's doing this for the people. Bourne gives a heartfelt interview. He's like, I'm a father myself, and if I don't come out of this one alive, I want my son to know that I love him. And then, it's very emotional. And then we see that. So we're building up a very heartfelt main event here, where we're worried that Tony Bourne might not come out of this one alive. He loses the match, but then Evil Incarnate will attack him anyway. Even if they are victorious, they'll try and end his career first of all, and then maybe his life second. Good Lord. It's all dramatic here at Portland Northwest Wrestling. Okay, let's take away people already booked, and who do we have on the babyfaces side? Impact Strike, Inoki and Tigerson Lee. The Hawaiian Connection. Savage, Valentine, and then we'll put the tag champions in there, so we'll put Gene Kinitsky in there. And who else do we have as a big single star who we could add in? Yeah, Frankie Lane. So a big 8-man tag with some members of some teams who are obviously facing against each other. And the winner is Dean Ho. And again, storytelling. Clean win. So we get 8 people on the same match here. Gene and Dutch losing this one. I was thinking, who have we got in the same feuds in this match? Frankie Van Lane and Eric's not in this one. Mark Lewin, Tony Bourne. Not too many people in the same feud in this one. Okay, Roddy and Greg. We'll put Roddy on the commentary on this one as well. That's 70%. So we need 15 more minutes for the show. Let's have a look. A quick match here, I think. We need Vivian to get a victory. Okay, Noble is very angry. Tony Rose is happy. Let's have a very, very quick match there. So I want to have the women's division featured on every single show. Let's do script the match. And so we never usually do call in the ring or scripted. We'll script this one. Backstage brawl. Roddy Piper, Greg Valentine, Ray Stevens, Dutch Savage. Okay, the wrestlers and the proteges fight backstage. The stars of the proteges fight backstage. And how are we going to start the show? We're going to have some more angles there. Moondog Main. Love some Moondog Main. Again, he's annoyed. I don't like that he's annoyed. He's got a weird man-beast gimmick. But Moondog Main, obviously, he vanquished the man known as Classy Freddy Blassie. And we're looking for something else for him to do, but between times, which is another like tactic you can do, is just keep your baby faces kind of simmering if you haven't got a plan for them. Just get them a win now and again, starting the show somewhere in the middle of the card, possibly. Let's just have a look at the office here and creative. Ray Stevens, Bobby Shane, Tony Inoki, Gary Hart. I think we know what we have to do. We'll give him 5 minutes. Backstage, cutting a promo. Bobby Shane, Ray Stevens. The boys announce that they are a tag team. So we're going to see the first iteration of these two lads explaining they're a tag team. And that's backstage, which will then lead into the fight backstage because the cameras will be there, then they'll leave, and then the cameras will come back. See Ray Stevens and Roddy Piper, kind of, because he'll be with him anyway in the interview, being jumped by Dutch Savage and Greg Valentine, continuing their feud. Okay, and how are we going to do in the pre-show? So, like the Von Steigers we're not using, I'm going to use them as singles. And that's actually a feud match. It's 10 minutes, draw, open, work the crowd. I think time limit finish. So it's good. 10 minutes, then they go through, and it's called a Broadway. And it's a 10 minutes draw. Actually, any amount of time, but a 10-minute draw. Chris Jericho and Lance Storm, their first match ever, was a 10-minute Broadway. For some wrestling history. Peter Maivia is going to go against the dastardly Kurt Von Steiger. 5 minutes. And Kurt Von Steiger, I think, is going to get the win on this one. Both the Von Steigers in action on the pre-show. We use them in singles, so we'll go to tag teams. What tag teams have we got, which we've not used for a while? Takes the Tadalov, baby. Gorky and Ivan. Okay. This is not going to set the world on fire, but hopefully we can give... Because I believe Dick Murdoch was away last week, so we couldn't use him for anything there. And... Oh wait, there's booking analysis. Don Owen has given me... Okay, he's been given slightly too much to do. So this can happen as well if you've got too many people doing... Or too few people doing too many jobs. Yeah, warning that it can affect their performance. I just realised we've got a lot of creative ideas we have not used. Tony Bourne's angle. We have him doing an interview here, so we can add that into the angle. Bit of a gamble, but we want Tony Bourne to get over there. And could we edit something here? Add a new part. Parts 2. No, how do I add that one? So part 1 is there. Part 2 is your man here. What's his name? Who's Tony Bourne? So Tony Bourne is selling an injury ad, and the man here is intimidation, and his name is... You can tell he's going to be a big star because I cannot remember his name. What is his name? The fella. We'll just go through who he's feuding with. We have not used him at all in this show. I thought it was something with G. No. Can't remember for the life of me. Who is he feuding with? Mark Lewin. I think we have to change his name. Nothing is wrong with called Mark Lewin at all, but okay. Oh yeah, we added an out. Okay. Part 2 is going to be 1 minute. This is going to be 7 minutes. Okay, it's still too long. It's going to be 5 minutes. It's going to be 3 minutes. Oh, we've got to save it here. Okay. Yay, that seemed to work. See, we're learning together. I thought you have to change it on that one and then save it down there. We have to save it on an individual menu beforehand to make it work. And it's like all the details you can't have in a TEW IX manual. And I'm going to be honest, I never read the manual for TEW IX because I played every iteration of the game since EWR 3.0 back in, I think it was 2001. And before that, I played Promotion Wars. Which other booking games have you played? And do you remember your first generated wrestlers? Jack Hardy was my one. His name was, and he was a created wrestler who was in the game Promotion Wars in the year 2001 as well. Then I discovered EWR3, and that was the one before any pictures were there. It was all text-based, and the TNA wrestling model wasn't figured out yet either. That happened with EWR4, 4.2. But we're on the show. We started the show when I was talking there. The Texas Outlaws defeated Gorky and Ivan, and showing true unprofessionalism, a clearly unhappy Dick Murdoch completely phoned in his performance. That's why I put him in the opening match in the pre-show. Then again, maybe that's why he was upset. But he's been upset for a while. Peter Maivia did very well here. And at 63, Kurt Von Steiger, he is bubbling just under this main event level for a singles. I mean, for a tag team, they've kind of done... I wouldn't say as much as they can do. We still haven't had them in this one big major tag feud, which could be happening in the future. I'm not saying that I haven't got plans for that. But also, as a singles performer, so he got 63. What did his brother get? 62. Again, it's essentially the same. They both could be single stars in this promotion. I know my hair's gone a bit mental. What am I going to do with that? And a good bout And the All Germany feud gained heat, and it was a 10-minute time limit, so we're keeping that one ticking over. Now we get to the show proper. 2,200 people have made their way to the Portland Sports Arena, and they want to see live wrestling, which will be shown also on television. And okay, lots of green here. This is what we like. Really good opening match. Got the show off to a strong start, 65 there. A superb match. Moondog Maine defeated the Claw. 8 minutes, 8 seconds. And they have good... No, they don't have good chemistry. Beauregard has good chemistry with the Claw. Handle changes. And we're going to make a change here. He is well known, we've got one momentum. He's either face or heel. His current gimmick is Monster. I'm going to change it to Hearing Voices. I hear voices in my head. They talk to Claw. 71! And they are doing a 5-minute promo saying, we are here. We're not the blonde bombers. We are not the blonde bombshells. We are not the blonde guy express. We are blonde steam train. I don't know. See, I came up with a name and I don't like it. But hey, it might grow on me. It might grow on the fans. But what is growing on the fans? 71 rating. Both improvised well throughout. And a good 4-minute angle. We saw a brutal brawl backstage after Ray Stevens giving this promo. And the lads want to beat them down, and they had a fight. Young Greg and Roddy squared off against each other, and Dutch and Ray Stevens. Roddy Piper's unimportant, a chilly momentum. What a face turn. The gimmick idea was a failure. Oh, good lord. But the initial rating is great, and it was likely to rise over time. The swagger gimmick, okay. And then Vivian Vachon getting another victory here, putting her surely in line for another title shot against Donna. So they won a multi-woman match, a tag match last show. And on this one, she got a singles victory rather quickly here against Tony Rose. Gary Hart makes his way to the ring. He's got his documents in hand. He's got a briefcase in the other. Beauregard, with his gimmicks he was playing with beforehand. He's also got them around the ringside. And Gary Hart takes the microphone and says, I've got to tell you, I hate to have to do this, but the NWA has laws and they have rules and bylaws written from generation to generation, and we have to uphold these laws. And he takes his contract. He says, Antonio Inoki, you folded and fielded an illegal manager at the Redwood Rebellion event, an NWA, what's it called? An NWA, not folded event. An NWA event sanctioned by the NWA, and you broke the laws and the bylaws written by men greater than you and I. And such and such. Until he says, Antonio Inoki, you're not going to be able to challenge for this belt. You're not going to be able to have a rematch with Torquemada. All that is off the shelf. The NWA sanctioned for 30 days. Antonio Inoki will not be able to challenge at the Trailblazers show for the belt. Impact Strike, Hawaii Connection versus Gene Kinitsky, Frankie Van Lane, Savage and Valentine. A lot going on this one. Let's just look at it. So the crowd reaction at the end is hot. We didn't kill the crowd in this one, but 55. You notice it's lower than some of our pre-show matches. So this is the dip in the middle of the show. Don Morocco, again, we want to get people on the card to work. So Tiger, Chun-Li and Don Morocco were the ones who were the weaker members here. Dean Ho, good performance here. And Antonio Inoki, the best performance in the match. And Gene Kinitsky on the other side here. And Frank Bonham, awkward pairing commentary. Okay, but the commentary lifted the match. I don't know if this is going to help Roddy Piper with his gimmick. We'll see. And then about had great wrestling and good heat. The Blonde Steam Train rolled into town, defeated Evil Incarnate, 12 minutes and 9 seconds. And Ray Stevens pinned Haru Sasaki. Thanks for all the beer, mate. Bombs away! The match was designed to tell a specific story, but we also had Dutch Savage, after them having bits of fights outside, distracting Stevens. But Ray Stevens, the man here, 75. Could he be the one to challenge Torquemada at Trailblazers? And in a great 4-minute interview, and we knew he'd be able to pull this off, but we added the angle idea as well, specifically for Tony Bourne. And if he's coming in with the ideas, I think it's more likely to succeed as well. And Keith Jackson, he interviewed him about Torquemada. Torquemada was not there at the time, he was backstage. The crowd is ready. They think today, we believe in Tony Storm. Tony Bourne, we believe in Tony Storm also, but just today, Tony Bourne. And the 2-minute video package shown in the arena, shown live on TV, Torquemada destroying his opponents from last week. And they could probably put in some other clips there as well of him just powerbombing guys, throwing people out the ring. This is really building up. It's kind of a Ric Flair Vader at Starrcade 94 feel to this one. I'm looking forward to seeing what the match rating will be. The interviews and everything we've got in there around the 75 mark. 80, there you go. This is what people want to see in the Northwest Territory. This match might not have flown with Tony Bourne anywhere else in the country, let alone anywhere else in the world. But here, Pacific Northwest, they want to see Tony Bourne. In an exceptional match, Torquemada defeated Tony Bourne. That's a shame. 13 minutes and 16 seconds by pinfall, but he used the ropes for leverage. Tough Tony Bourne, he was too tough to pin in conventional matches. You have to cheat. And it was designed for the wrestlers to go out and steal the show. And my God, they both did. Torquemada and Tony Bourne. And it's a better color commentary, which isn't a bad thing that they say that. It's just that the match was better quality than the commentary was. The commentary could be good to, good to very good, but the match was exceptional. And the post-show angle here, part 1 and part 2. Oh no, that lost everything there. But the match hopefully will carry the show here, and the angles are advancing here. But part 1, Torquemada's getting better. It's gimmick. So very good, and then average, post with Mark Lewin ending the show there. And a 70 overall rating. We had better matches than we had angles this time. Don Rocco, Tiger Chun-Li, and Greg Valentine used too much on this show. But the way I see it is they're getting their reps in on the TV shows. How else are they going to learn to work in front of a crowd and do these things? Worst match on the card, Vivian Vachon, Tony Rose. To be fair, we didn't give them a lot to work with time-wise. And we didn't give them a lot to work with like an all-out match or whichever. And we put scripts on that match as well, which I think we're going to try and refrain from doing from now on. Wrestling Proteges Fighting, the lowest rating there. Because it's the people who their fans don't really know right now. We're going to see how Roddy Piper's gimmick change is affected in the future. Impact Strike and Hawaiian Connection, they got a victory, and the match was quite poor. And it's the lowest rating maybe Dean Ho and Antonio Inoki or Gene Kiniski have gotten in the match. People on Steam Train. It's just started the momentum. The Steam Train has just started to roll off the tracks here. Getting victories. Torquemada defeated Tony Bourne, and this is exactly the kind of match people in this territory want to see. And Dog Main, he's battling evil in the form of the Claw. We've got a victory. So we've got a few major candidates, and obviously the big news coming out of this show, I think we can't gloss over, is that Antonio Inoki will not be eligible to fight at Trailblazers for any of the belts. Not for a tag team title, not for a heavyweight title, and certainly not for a women's title. He won't be able to fight for any title, so he at the moment does not have a rematch. He doesn't have any kind of match booked for Trailblazers. But this also asks the question, who do we have on the roster who is pushing hard enough to get that title shot? And I'm reckoning that's one of the things we start to address next week. And injury review, no injuries, financial report. We make about 34,000 every show. Broadcast revenue, you can click on that one. Oh, it's all from advertising, okay. And a popularity recap from 63 to 64. I'm not sure if we've got a natural spillover here to Southwest. I don't know if we started at 18. We'll check that. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. We have had a successful TV show, increasing in popularity, moving along storylines. And we have to see, Trailblazers now is wide open. We have Trailblazers in 13 days. Let's have a look at our popularity, though. Where do I find that? It's in this business. Maybe I can look on Feds on just R1 and popularity. Portland, there we go. No, that's not it. In this business. Size. Okay, track progress. No, Southwest has been 18 consistently. There's no spillover. Oh, Southeast is a spillover, not Southwest. Why are we growing in the Southeast? Great Lakes I can kind of understand. Why are we increasing in the Southeast? Let's have a look at the world map. Oh, look at this, look at these ones. I like all these pictures and everything. Each one of these different things. And there's different... Oh, look at this. Look at these Polaroid pictures as well. Again, the more you click on things. What's represented in the UK? I know it's some that is. I'm not sure what that building's behind there. I can't see. Europe is obviously, just these things. And Northern Europe isn't represented, is it? No, they don't change them. Canada is hockey, eh? But Southeast. Okay. Popularity spillover. Potential fan base very large. Okay, and these are the stadiums: Miami Orange Bowl, Louisiana, Superdome. So the Southeast, a major U.S. region. The Southeast contains notable wrestling strongholds of Florida, Tennessee, Alabama, and Georgia. Okay, but what about our territory here? And how... Okay, so question for anybody watching. Why are we growing in the Southeast? I have no idea. Our TV isn't shown in the Southeast. I'm assuming it's only shown where we are. Washington, Oregon, Idaho, Montana, Wyoming. Spillover. Midwest, Southwest, British Columbia, Alberta, Mid-South. I can see why Southwest would be. But why is our popularity... We can search. We'll negotiate. Yes. Portland's only shown in the Northwest, so it can't be television either. Okay, that is fascinating. So we'll explore that next time and see what's happening. 61,000 on the views. Time to heal. Bobby Shane is now saying he is feeling the effects. I didn't know that. I wonder who the next person's going to be. Who wants to bet? Gene Kanitsky? Again, it wouldn't be a show without Gene Kanitsky saying he's got too much to do. Okay, so for this time and in between time and in the meantime, we'll see you on the next episode of Portland Wrestling.